Alexa, off. Well, what's going on here? Okay, good. Wasn't sure if we were running or not. Took me a long time to figure this out. What's going on? Anybody and everybody. I'm going to have to turn off the air conditioning. My God, it's hot in here. But either way, what is happening? Who's watching what? Who's nerding out on whatever you're nerding out on? Tell me what television show you're watching. Tell me what games you're playing. Tell me what you're up to. Tell me the games you're on. Because I'll tell you what I'm watching. I'm watching Blue-Eyed Samurai, for those that haven't seen that yet. I'm more than halfway through that. That's a good show so far. Blue-Eyed Samurai. No idea if anybody's watching that but me. Just checking. Checking this thing. Checking to see what's going on. Because I'm not sure if this thing is working. That's a good show so far. Blue-Eyed Samurai. No idea if anybody's watching. There we go. Yeah, if anybody's watching Blue-Eyed Samurai, fantastic. I'm upset that it got nominated, rather that it won the Emmy, and X-Men '97, the greatest cartoon ever, did not win the Emmy. I don't know how I'm going to deal with that. I sincerely don't. Has anybody played Star Trek Adventures, the second edition? Has anyone seen my review? It's been a while since I played a role-playing game, and I'm dying to get back into stuff like that. It's one of my nerdy things that I have forgotten about, and I would love to see that return. See what anybody else is up to. See what everybody's doing. Which is a way to tell how many people are actually watching or not. I don't think I have that on this thing. Wouldn't know that otherwise. Last couple of times I did this, I did a test run just to see if I could make to see if I could make everything work. Because it took me a while to figure this out. Why isn't this thing happening? Why isn't this thing happening? Molly's watching. Hi, Molly. There, now the entire world has seen it. Connor, Transformers 1. Yeah, I'm going to go see that. It's tough, though, because Transformers hasn't been my thing except for Rise of Beasts. I thought Rise of Beasts was really good as far as Transformer movies go, and as being a Gen X kid and growing up on in the cartoon series, the original Bumblebee being a bug, I'm going to be interested to see what they're doing. I don't know if it'll blow me away, but I'm going. I mean, it's in my wheelhouse of things I love. The Transformers is one of them. They didn't used to be my jam. Did you see Rise of Beasts? Did you like that one? I thought that one was really good compared to the rest. They've had hits and misses on the Transformers, but I'm going to see Transformers 1. 100%. I will see that. Who else is watching something? Transformers, boy. I'm amazed at how they continually come back with storyline after storyline after storyline. We love that show. We love Transformers. Toys. Did you ever own the toys? Probably didn't own the toys. If you ever owned the toys when you were a kid, some of them were impossible to make transform. Like the Megatron Transformer that transforms into the pistol and then back into the robot was impossible to figure out. That was crazy. Star Wars Outlaws this week. Was debating, Jonathan's debating whether or not to, I was debating whether or not to watch tonight. Well, I'm glad you did. Star Wars Outlaws. Review on that? How is Star Wars Outlaws? Because it's another Star Wars game that I have a love-hate relationship with video games, especially anything with a console, because I'll get addicted like that and then no one will see me ever again. That's kind of how that works. Connor, I thought it was good. I thought they stayed true to the G1 Optimus Prime design. Yes, absolutely. They have to, it's the classics. You have to stay true to the classics, or else we're not going to want to come back. Star Wars Outlaws this week. Is that one where it's a world building thing where you can get online? I don't know enough about Star Wars Outlaws. Bad nerd, no cookie. Need to find out about that. Would I'm so tempted to get a game console, to get the new PS, or to get an Xbox. I know my lady's kids who might be watching right now want us to get one, but I don't know if we're gonna get one because then it'll just consume everything. Because I love playing games like that. But I'll get locked in, and then I won't do anything else. But boy, that's good stuff. Yeah, you would. Yeah, they absolutely would. But seriously, who's watching Blue-Eyed Samurai on Netflix? Samurai animated story. It's graphic and gritty, and it beat out X-Men '97, which was so sad. Because I love X-Men '97. It's the best cartoon made yet. It's the best property from the X-Men franchise. So good. So amazing. Sorry, my phone keeps blowing up. Should have turned it off. Who else is doing what? Who's waiting for the next Star Trek franchise to come out like I am? Who's ready for Star Trek, what is it? I can't remember. Academy. Starfleet Academy. I don't know how much I want to watch the 90210 version of that, if that's going to turn into something like that, but I'm going to watch Starfleet Academy because it's Star Trek. Outlaws is an open world kind of con artist Han Solo type of stuff. It's fun. Think Red Dead Galactic. Jonathan, that's what's going to get me, because Red Dead Redemption I haven't played, and every time I see that has everything I want. I love the big Western building type game with a giant map and go anywhere you want and do all kinds of side missions and things. I'm an old Grand Theft Auto nerd from PS2. I still have my PS2, by the way, with all the Grand Theft Autos, Vice City, Grand Theft Auto 3, Vice City, Liberty City Stories, then San Andreas, and then I dropped off because I think that's when they changed to PS3. But man, okay, Star Wars Outlaws is now something that could be dangerous for me, because I would play in that world forever. I love the Han Solo world. What do you think of Solo? The Star Wars adventure story, which didn't do well in the theaters. It's not one of my favorite Star Wars. That goes way down on my list, but I still have to love it because it's Star Wars. You know, it's a love-hate relationship again with something like Star Wars. And now the Acolyte is gone, which is, I think, actually a really good thing. I didn't think they were going in a great direction for the Acolyte. Did you watch the Acolyte? I don't know. There were so many things I wanted to see them change in that. I didn't like the idea that the Jedi were going to be so overbearing, so police state-like, but I get that. That's how you get them to fall, and the Sith comes to rise to power. I get what they were building and attempting. I just didn't like the way they were doing it. The dialogue was bad. The storyline was unentertaining. But I was watching it. I don't know if they're going to show it again. I don't know if they're going to show the whole thing again. I don't know if they're going to reboot it to something different. I don't know. Star Trek. Chase Brown is in the room. I have arrived. Is that how you enter? Everyone, I've arrived. Well, we're talking about the games that I shouldn't buy because they're going to take over my world, and now Jonathan tells me I should be playing Star Wars Outlaws, which sounds like everything I want in a game, to go around world building as a Han Solo type character and doing side missions and things. It sounds like everything I want in a game, so maybe I shouldn't. Jonathan likes Solo. Not the best Star Wars. Enjoyed it. I'd watch Solo 2 if they made it. Jonathan, me too. Continue with that character storyline. There's lots of gaps in between before he, before he meets Luke, before the start of everything else. But I don't know. Prequels are so difficult. Fan bases like ours is really difficult when you do a prequel, because we 100% we're vocal when we do when something happens we don't like, and we all have ideas of what happened in the past that aren't shown, and then when they do show something and someone takes a stab at it, we can be kind of relentless. Prequels, so hard. Like right now, the original Star Wars prequels, episodes 1, 2, and 3, for people our age, are like, well, they kind of have a soft spot in our heart, but when they came out, boy, we were angry, we were mad. Didn't seem right, didn't seem the thing like, and everyone who bags on episode 1, let me do a little episode 1 love here. Whoever hates on Phantom Menace, It has Duel of the Fates. It has Duel of the Fates. That song alone and that battle kind of saves that movie for me. Everything else can go, but Duel of the Fates, Darth Maul, that battle, that song, that epic music, that's good stuff. That is really good stuff. Episode 1, give Episode 1 a break. Jar Jar, everything. Oh, man. I wanted that to be... I remember seeing that in the theater, not seeing a Jedi since 1983 in the theater, and sitting in the theater and seeing Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon pop up with their lightsabers at the very beginning and getting that rush of excitement, and then the rest of the movie happened. I'm like, okay. That's okay. It's okay what they're doing. I don't know about that. Who has seen Alien Romulus besides me and a bunch of other people? I've still talked to people who haven't seen Alien Romulus, and I know a lot of Alien movie buff fans who haven't seen it yet. It's so very good. Oh boy, it's so very good. It is... the Alien franchise had a lot of bombs there. I mean, because we had Alien, Aliens, Alien 3, Alien Resurrection, Alien vs. Predator, which... I think, again, from nerd to nerd, we love the AVP series, but they're not good. They're goofy. And they're goofy and they're silly, but let's not say that they're not good, because they are good. It's all good, clean, stupid fun watching the Alien vs. Predator series. And then Prometheus, again, that is a beautiful movie, and I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's happening in there. Alien Covenant, again, I don't know what's happening in there. And the Michael Fassbender role, I don't know who he is. So I was really happy to see Romulus and stick to their guns and go right back to just being a horror movie. It's so good. Love that. Jonathan, see Alien Romulus. Yeah. I don't know if you need to see it in the theater. The sound is really good. If you're a sound guy, I'm not a big picture guy, like I need to see a giant screen. I don't, and I'm all done with the 3D. Can we be done with the 3D? The glasses hurt my head. It's no longer, oh my God. I was talking about this with some movie friends of mine. We were talking about 3D in general, and it used to be there'd be a red lens and a blue lens. And every effect of a 3D movie would have to have something coming at the camera. So you get a lot of weird shots like, some coffee? And then the guy would push the thing towards the camera and it would come out of the screen. Like Jaws 3D with Dennis Quaid and Louis Gossett Jr. I saw that in the theaters, and lots of stupid things coming toward the camera. I almost missed that. I almost missed how goofy that was. Or Friday the 13th, the third chapter was in 3D. That's when that's the first time he dons the hockey mask. And I saw that in the theater. Oh yeah, I'm done with the 3D. But back to Romulus. The sound is really good, and if you need to see big, booming, wonderful sound in the theater, go see it for that reason, honestly. Yeah, Romulus was good. That's really good. I don't know what I'm looking forward to. I'm not a big horror fan, but I'm going to see Nosferatu as far as horror movies go. That comes out at Christmas time or whatever. Willem Dafoe is in it. It looks like a Dracula story, but I don't know that it is. If it is, he's definitely playing Van Helsing. That's what it looks like. But I love that they didn't show the vampire yet. 3D when you wear prescription glasses is an extra. Yeah. There's another thing. Like a lot of people wear glasses or contacts or both or something. It's like I gotta go to the theater. I gotta wear these things, which are made for everyone. One size fits all. No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. No, it never did. I get that. I saw Avatar, the latest, The Way of Water, Avatar in 3D, because everyone's like, oh, you've got to see it in 3D. It makes all the difference. No, it doesn't. It's still very blue. It's the bluest movie ever. It's like so much blue. The first one is the bluest movie ever, and they thought, well, how do we top this? Let's put it in the water, and we'll make Avatar, The Way of Water, extra, extra blue. 3D, no. Don't need it. Don't need it. There are plenty of movies I love that are not in 3D, and I love them either way. Yeah. Don't need the 3D. Prescription glasses. This is my Star Trek cup. One of 24 Star Trek cups that I have. Yeah, I'm a big nerd. trying to think what else is coming out. What else I could be playing and doing. What I could be playing out and playing and doing. Yes. Finishing watching Blue-Eyed Samurai after that. So the Penguin's coming out. Okay, so we're going back into Batman. We're going back heavily into Batman because the Batman with Robert Pattinson was so good. We're jumping right back in, and then we get Joker Folie à Deux coming out, the Penguin TV series. It's going to be more and more Batman, and I don't know if they're all going to link together or not. I pray that they're not going to do an MCU kind of thing where everything has to match up. Tell your story, just like the comics are. Sometimes they cross over, but usually they don't. Usually they don't. You just read a story, hey, Batman did this today. It doesn't matter that in another comic book something else happens. Characters can die, characters can come back, storylines don't have to match. I hope they just tell a good Batman story. Hi, Molly. Molly. Shouldn't you be in bed? Go to sleep. It's late. Okay, it's not late. I'm just kidding. But yeah, if you're not, I'm gonna watch the Penguin. I'm gonna watch the Penguin. I'm gonna watch all the Batman. I'm in for a penny, in for a pound on all the Batman. But I sincerely hope that they just tell a good story and make it their own. Jace, yeah, me too. I'm 100% looking forward to that. I want it. I want it to be good. I love the Robert Pattinson Batman. I loved it more than I ever thought I would. Actually being a detective, actually being a true detective in the Batman universe, rather than just hitting a screen on the wall, then having to tell you stuff. Oh, I thought it was wonderful. I thought that was wonderful. Whoops! Now I've done this. This is my first live, and so everything on the right side of the screen is all crazy, kerfuffleized, and whatever else, trying to figure this stuff out. I'll figure it out. This is good, though. This is good. Feels like I'm flying a starship. Got a big thing on the side, seeing my face there. I know you're seeing me with a pretty big delay, but, oh, it's good stuff. So, yeah, the Penguin's coming out. I'll see that. Finishing Blue-Eyed Samurai again. Watch that. Watch that. It's crazy good animation, and it's very bloody and very wonderful. The screen is too big. That's the problem with this thing. All right. Jace, you have a whole other name on a whole other thing? This entire... Okay. This entire time you've been latex salesman? This is shenanigans. That's what this is. Latex, which I called you on TikTok, and I'm supposed to call you. Now I don't know what to call you. Now I don't know what to call you. I'll call you Chase if that's all right. Unless you want to be called with the other. That's so funny. I wonder who else does that to me. I got a couple other platforms and people coming on and stuff like that. Sorry if the air conditioning is loud. It's so hot in here today. It's brilliant. Here in California, it's been up to 108 degrees last week, and 108 and 106 and 104, and now it's finally down to 70, and I can't love it enough. Yes, Jace, it's allowed. You can call yourself whatever you want. I think it's funny. That's funny. I like that you're like, hey, full disclosure, just so you know, I'm also this person. I used to go on TikTok live a lot more than I did this and that, but I love the this as opposed to the this on TikTok. I get more things, like want to bring stuff in, I can do other stuff, or I can have a guest sit next to me and actually talk, which I'm absolutely going to do, have a guest on my live stream, come on. Yeah. Oh, that's nuts. That's gross. Did everybody see, this is my birthday present. Where is it? That's why I point to it this way. The Jaws, the Brody Funko Pop for my lady. It's really nice when someone knows you, okay? It's really nice when someone actually knows you. Oh, it's great. So, speaking of franchises, and I don't know what made me think about this directly, but we're really getting an 11th Fast and the Furious movie? I couldn't... I couldn't get, I don't understand that when I saw the 10th one and it starts off and it ends on a cliffhanger that we're going to get an 11th one. Jonathan gets points for you're going to need a bigger shelf. That's funny. That's funny. You're going to need a bigger shelf. Uber, shut off that engine. That's a 4-footer. 45. No. The Kallax shelf behind me. You're going to need a bigger shelf. I can't remember what she was looking for when she got that Funko Pop and wound up getting Jaws. I think she was looking for a Star Trek figure. But, oh, I love Jaws. I was thinking about it the other day as far as, but not that I'll jump back to the Fast and the Furious franchise, which, again, they're ridiculous. Why do I keep going to those movies? Because they're funny. They've become funny rather than fun. They went from cool to fun to funny. Now they're funny. Ridiculously funny. I mean, I think it's on the 9th one or the 8th one where Vin Diesel kicks a torpedo out of the way on a frozen lake. Which one is that? Is it on the 8th one? I mean, that's funny. That's ridiculously funny. Oh, I love the first Fast and the Furious. I thought that was really good. The whole idea of, underground street racing, which are also thieves. Give me some of that. Give me more of that. That's great. They don't need to be superheroes saving the world. But back to Jaws. Jaws is still one of my favorite movies, and I love that in 1975 people actually stopped going in the water for a little while and beaches were full and nobody went to go swimming. That's a scary movie. That's a scary movie. When Child's Play came out, people didn't stop buying dolls, okay? Everybody still bought dolls, but people stopped swimming when Jaws came out. I love that. Oh, no. Jace watched Cocktail with the family the other night. Would a sequel be what we need? Cocktail? With Tom Cruise and Brian Brown. Cocktail. I don't remember what happens at the end. Doesn't he go back to school? He goes back to school or something because he was gonna go and continue his life and do something, and then bartending came up. By the way, I've been a bartender since 1992. It somewhat looks as fun as the movie, but nothing looks as fun as that. That's still a job, but it looks like they're just having a playground the entire time. Like, I've been a bartender. It isn't always bells and whistles and fun. As far as Cocktail getting a sequel, if Tom Cruise is in it, everybody will watch it. People love that stuff. People watch Top Gun Maverick. By the way, full disclosure, I'm the only person in the known universe who didn't like Top Gun Maverick. I didn't. It's a good action movie with lots of fun flying stuff, but all the characters are highly unlikable jerks. They are. He starts the bar Cocktails and Dreams. That's right. It was going to be him and Brian's bar until Brian screws him over and he starts the bar himself. So he's still a bartender. Okay. So what happens in episode 2? Okay, we're writing Cocktail, the sequel, part 2. What happens next? The return of Brian. Brian's long-lost son. Brian Brown's long-lost son comes back out of wedlock, didn't know he had a dad, now wants to take over the bar. We could pair it with another Roadhouse. Did you see the steaming pile of Roadhouse with Jake Gyllenhaal and Conor McGregor? That's what it is. Cocktail 2 meets Roadhouse 3. Oh, this thing is going to write itself. This thing will write itself, Jace. It's going to be... Dalton will come into town to save Cocktails and Dreams, which is being taken over by the Overlord, which is Brian Brown's long-lost son. Done. Done. Can we get a writer in here? Just write this out. Done. Cocktails and Dreams. Boy, I remember who I went on a date with to see Cocktail in the theater. She lived down the street. One date. Huh. Jonathan, you saw Roadhouse? Yeah, me too. Regrettably. My review of it is on my channel if you've watched it, where I just like, you know what? Just let some crap go and see it. It's not good. It's not good. But when you know it's not good, and hopefully it's a part of your subscription, so you don't have to pay for anything. Don't buy it. Don't spend $15 on this or $20 on this. But if it's a part of your prescription, it's a part of your prescription, part of your subscription. Yeah, Roadhouse is good fun, not good movie, but good fun. Yeah. Brown was in a lot of the '80s film, '80s. Dang it. Is he Darkman? No. He's FX. Brian Brown is FX, right? He's the guy who's the former FX artist from the movies, and then he becomes on the run or something, or somebody frames him, and he has to use his special effects makeup to thwart the evildoers. Am I right on that? Brian Brown is an FX, not Darkman. I don't know. Somebody chime in on that if you realize what that is, because yeah. Because there's Darkman, Darkman 2, and there's FX and FX 2. Oh, Elizabeth Shue was in it. Elizabeth Shue's in Cocktail. Yeah, FX. FX was the movie. The first FX wasn't a bad movie. I don't know if it holds up, but definitely 80s cheese movie. It's like, I was talking about this with someone the other day. There are movies set in an era. Like, there are movies set in the 80s, and then there are 80s movies. Like, Back to the Future is set in the 80s, and you can tell it's the 1980s, but it is a movie set in the 80s, as opposed to Weird Science, which is an 80s movie. Breakfast Club is an 80s movie, a movie that you immediately see as a time capsule. If the Martians land, you can say, what were the 80s like? And you can say, it was kind of like this. It's kind of like Weird Science. You can look at the people in this picture. You can look at all the everything, you know, the clothing and all the what they were talking about. It kind of looks like this. It is an 80s movie. Yeah. I mean, there are movies set in the 70s, and then there were 70s movies. The Sting is not a 70s movie, which is shot in the 70s. Oh, I love The Sting. You know what I'm going to do next for a top 10 list? I keep trying to find my co-host to come on and sit next to me and do it, and I've got a couple of friends who might. I'm going to do top 10 heist movies. Do you like a good heist movie? I really do like a good heist movie. I love all the Oceans 11, 12, 13, even Oceans 8 I like the score, the Italian Job, Heat, anything with a heist or a robbery, which, I don't know what that says about me, that I like heist movies and robberies. But that's, yeah, it's going to be top 10 heist movies. Do you have a favorite heist movie? Think about it right now. You're already thinking about it right now, gang. What is your favorite heist movie that I should talk about? Heist movies. Utah. Give me two. That is true. Point Break is a heist movie. They're bank robbers. Okay, the dead presidents are surfers. Gary Busey. Gary Busey. Oh my God. So good. So over the top. So extra. So Gary Busey. I mean, telling you. Richard Stark are all the heist books. Oh, message retracted. I don't know what message you sent, but it's retracted. Yes, heist movies. What sort of heist movies are we enjoying? I love anything with a big complicated plot, or anybody that comes down on a zip line and then uses a tiny device to twist and things. I love scenes about people lockpicking. I don't know why I like that so much. I used to watch The Lockpicking Lawyer on YouTube, which was a great channel, until I realized there's no lock you can't pick. It gets boring after a while. They can pick every lock. I don't know. Oh, Ronin. Ronin, Jace, is a great heist movie. That's another one of those movies with a great MacGuffin in it. And MacGuffin is one of those things that advances the plot where you don't know what it is. We don't really know what's in the case, and we never find out. But I love the scenes of the beginning of that movie where they're planning the heist with Sean Bean and Jean Reno. Oh, Ronin. What a great chase scene in Ronin, too. Yeah. And Ronin is another one of those movies where how do I put this? It didn't do well in the theaters, and then everybody loved it online. Everybody I talked to loves Ronin, but Ronin didn't have great numbers when it came out in the theaters. Probably because this, at the time, there's no beginning, middle, and end to Ronin. It's just kind of over. You're like, okay, they just kind of go their separate ways. You never find out what's going on. But did it matter? No, it didn't. Ronin, good pick. Oh, I need to watch Ronin again. It's been a while. And I do think Ronin qualifies as a heist movie. It is a heist. It is all about trying to steal that from the other people that have it. Who else is in that? Jonathan Pryce is in it. Alexander Skarsgård is in Ronin. You have to watch that again. Also, Ronin's got the other thing I like in heist movies as well as secret agent movies, which is a lot of code names, and a lot of people don't know each other's last names or first names. There's a lot of secrecy, and everybody just nods at each other like they're all a bunch of badasses. And they meet at the very beginning. They meet in that bar, and immediately Nick, that's Robert De Niro's character, sets up his exit, unlocks the door, puts his gun over there in case he needs to get out of there. Ugh, come on. That's all cool stuff. That's all good heisty movie stuff. That is all good entertainment. Oh yeah, good. I love a good heist movie. I think it doesn't have to be I mean, yeah. Heist movies, well, okay. Fast and the Furious 5. Is that a heist movie? When they take a whole safe and drive it down the street? Which again, cool becomes fun, becomes funny. Right here in between fun and funny is Fast 5 when they steal the safe. They're driving down the street with the safe. Stop it. Oh, it's my buddy's favorite. That's a lot of people's favorites. People love Fast 5 because of that one scene, driving with the safe down the street. Nuts. Love it. Oh. Now, I might split it up because I don't know if heist movies are the same as con artist movies, which are different. I love a good con artist movie, but sometimes con artistry and heisty movies become the same thing, and I haven't decided if I'm going to do that. Ronin is one of my favorite tough guy humorous lines. You ever kill anybody? No, but I hurt somebody's feelings once. That is between Sean Bean and Robert De Niro. You ever kill anybody? Who play? It is Sean Bean, right? Am I saying that right? Sean Bean. Sean Bean gets killed in every movie and always plays the guy. He's so good in that, as being the guy who clearly is out of his depth. He's with a bunch of professionals, and he is clearly not, and he loses it and has to be fired from the team because he freaks out. Oh, you ever kill anybody? Yeah, he says, well, what kind of weapon you use? I'm a weapons man. He goes, I use the 9/11, the old gun. It served my country pretty well. Oh. It's so good. Why are you going in there? Why are you going in there? I'm not going in there. You don't want to go in there. Don't go in there. What are you, stupid? Don't go in there. Ronin. Yeah, poor Sean Bean. He's always getting, yeah. He's Boromir, gone. He's Ned Stark, whack. Sean Bean. Oh, love him. Love him. Kind of makes me want to do like a Ronin episode for the show, and just I can't believe I'm talking so much about Ronin and how much I enjoy it. You take the girl, Deirdre. Yeah, then there's the great scene after he's shot. He's going to pass out. And he's getting to patch up, and he has that scene with I can't remember who plays that character. We talk about what the word Ronin means, and how you used to work for a guy, now you don't work for a guy, now you're on your own. A Ronin. Yeah, that's where the title comes from. The Thomas Crown Affair. Sabraxis, I believe, is both con artist and heist. That's a good pick right there. That is a good pick. That is a perfect example of what we're talking about here. It is both. Have you seen both of them? Both the newer one, which has Pierce Brosnan, and the older one, which has Steve McQueen. Steve McQueen, so cool in everything that he does. There's yeah. Oh, that's right. He plays 009 in GoldenEye, right? He plays the double agent, Sean Bean. Oh. Support a Ronin episode. I don't know what I'd talk about with the Ronin episode, how much I love it. I've done it before with Starship Troopers, or I did a throwback review of Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skulls just before Dial of Destiny came out, because I hadn't seen it since then. And it's still the weakest of the Indiana Joneses, but I like doing a retro review of something. Because if enough young people aren't seeing Ronin, they should be seeing it immediately. Because friggin' Ronin. Oh. I don't know. It does make me wonder if they like it because there's not enough stuff going on. There's a lot of talking. I recently showed Ocean's 11, the remake one, the one with George Clooney, Brad Pitt, etc., to my lady, who thought it was a little boring, a little slow. And I was like, slow? It's got lots of heisty stuff, and everyone's talking about things, and everybody's being cool, and look at their outfits, and they're all in Las Vegas. How cool is that? And she's like, well, that's some slow parts. And I thought, okay. I don't know. Either way. Both from 1968 and 1998, but I watched them more than 20 years ago. Time flies. Yeah, me too. I can't remember the last time I saw Thomas Crown Affair. I couldn't tell you. I saw the first one like on HBO way back, and then when the new one came out, again, I didn't see that in the theaters. I saw it on HBO or Cinemax or whatever I saw it on. Oh, could be time for a remake on that. It's like, also, speaking of Steve McQueen and remakes, The Getaway is with Steve McQueen and Ally McGraw, and then the new one has Kim Basinger and Alec Baldwin. But both are good shoot-'em-up movies. The Getaway, not the greatest, not a great movie for Alec Baldwin. It's okay. It's no Hunt for Red October. Hunt for Red October, best Tom Clancy novel made into a movie. This reporter's opinion. But, yeah. Who's your favorite Jack Ryan? Because I think we've got 6 people that played Jack Ryan before from Tom Clancy novels. Let's run them down. Alec Baldwin, and then Harrison Ford takes over, and then for one movie, Ben Affleck plays him, Chris Pine plays him once, and then Jonathan K. John Krasinski. Krasowski, Jonathan K. So there's 5 actors playing him. I've got a... Yeah, I love Alec Baldwin. I love Alec Baldwin's portrayal of Jack Ryan. I got to give him props to that. Harrison Ford is already Han Solo in Indiana Jones. It doesn't need one more person he should play. But yeah, as far as that. By the way, it's just water. I'm not pounding coffee. Don't get me wrong. I absolutely pound coffee. In the mornings, that's all I do is just pound coffee. At least 3 cups of coffee every single morning. The Harrison Ford ones. The good Harrison Ford Jack Ryan one, for me, is Clear and Present Danger. That one's really good and rich, and everybody in it's really, really good. Willem Dafoe's in it, and I love Willem Dafoe, and of course we love James Earl Jones, who we just lost. And I say that in my my tribute on my channel, that James Earl Jones, not a shock at 93 that he died. I mean, 93. That's a good life. That's a good long life to be everybody that we know him and to be. He is Darth Vader. He is Mufasa. He's Terrence Mann from Field of Dreams. They will come, Ray. They will most definitely come. I love that scene. It gives me chills. Yeah, I think about that. I think about James Earl Jones, about the people we've lost from the Star Wars universe who've made such an impact on us. Such a part of our popular culture, such a part of our reference. So much reference of things that we do is from Star Wars. Oh, what do you got, Sabraxis? In regard to the modern Ocean's 11's films, among other things, I've liked that Brad Pitt's character stuffs himself with something junk food in every scene. That's 100% true. I was saying that during Ocean's 11, that Brad Pitt is eating in every scene. Every scene, he's got nachos outside of the Capitol Center. He's got a shrimp cocktail when he's waiting for Julia Roberts to come back up. He is constantly eating. A buddy of mine that I did a play with 20 years ago, we had to eat in a scene. And his name is Joseph. And Joseph said, he goes, I love eating in a scene. And I was like, why? He goes, because you don't have to do anything else. As an actor, we're always looking for something to do with our hands. I'm going to read a newspaper, I've got a book, I'm going to be organizing a shelf, and every time I have to do an audition on camera, it's good to have things to do with your hands that the character would do, because no one just sits there and talks to someone with their hands down. It doesn't look how normal people talk. So if you're eating in a scene, all you have to do is eat. All you have to do is eat. You don't have to do anything else. You don't have to do anything special. Just eat. It takes away all of the choices. It makes your job easier. Just eat. So Brad Pitt's eating in every scene. I don't know if that's why he does it, but I do love it. Phil Jones, hey, glad I caught your live. Love your video. Thanks, man. I appreciate you, Jones. Maville Jones? Maville? I hope I'm not mispronouncing that. Thanks, man. Again, man, I don't know. We'll call you person. Thanks, person. Because positivity is one of my big things. I don't want to be negative. There's enough negativity on the web. There's enough anger on the web. There's enough, really. We all love movies. Everyone loves to play a good game. Everyone loves to escape inside their head to something that makes them think of something else, no matter what your jam is. Be it science fiction, be it drama, be it music, be it professional wrestling, be it sports, to get out of your head. And I try to stay positive on that. On my channel and on these lives. But thanks for saying that. Krasinski. Thank you, Sabraxis. John Krasinski. Could not think of his name. I'm like, he's the guy with the stuff. John K. I should make more videos. I do one a week. I do one a week because that's what my current allowance of creativity allows me to do, and keeping the product level up with editing and whatnot. And I have, I've got jobs and auditions and things to do, but I would love to do more. I'd love to do this full time, to be honest. I love talking to people about movies and finding out what turns them on, what gets their nerd going, gets things happy. Yeah, I love the fantasy outlook of that. It's the imagination. I was going to do one on the imagination recently, because before you can do a big thing, you have to imagine the big thing. And in the human race, we move incredibly slow. Anytime we want to do something big or enormous, we go real slow. It takes the human race a long time to do things, but you have to imagine what the future is going to look like. And I always imagine things like Star Trek and Star Wars, and, well, not so much Star Wars, but Star Trek. A future that could be worth going to and seeing. So let's think of that while we plan as what we're doing our day-to-day. Maybe that will get us a little closer to what we're doing, because we move so slow. Yeah. Fantasy, imagination, having that kickstart your brain, have some fun. It always gives good results. It always gives good results. To be fun and happy, and yeah, joy. Joyful movie, nerdy movie watching. We were watching Twisters the other night with my lady and her kids, and they hadn't seen it, and I had seen it, and right away, Harrison says, like when the bad guy walks on, he goes, "That's the bad guy." And I go, "Good call, H." Jeez, like just right off the bat, like, that's the bad guy. Kids know. I remember as a kid, like, you know who the bad guy is. He looks like the bad guy, walks like the bad guy, talks like the bad guy. He's the bad guy. You know what they look like. Oh, man. Harrison Ford is your favorite, Sabraxis, as Jack Ryan? No issue with that, obviously. Love Harrison Ford. I don't know why they do me with my theories of the third Ryan film. I remember Alec Baldwin was supposed to do 3 films. He was supposed to do all of those 3, and then contract negotiations, blah, 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 money, blah, 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 creative differences, blah, 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 where they got Harrison Ford for the last 2, for Patriot Games and Clear Present Danger. As far as Sum of All Fears going with Ben Affleck, I don't know what happened. And the Chris Pine thing, I kind of forgot about that one until very recently. But still. Creative writers, we need more Tolkiens. Yes, we do, Chase. That's a great quote. That's a great quote. We need more Tolkiens in this world. We need more George Lucas. We need more Gene Roddenberrys. People to think I know it's off to say out of the box thinking anymore, think outside the box, but really, go big on what the future could be. Jurassic World Rebirth movie, oh man. Jones, I'm having difficulty with the continual reboot of the Jurassic Park idea. When every time they do it, the dinosaurs eat the people. Like when Jurassic World came out and someone's got the shirt on, it says Jurassic Park. Like, don't wear that. That can't be discussed. Well, why can't we discuss it? It clearly went horribly bad. Somebody want to put a line of dialogue in that says how anybody agreed to have this happen again? And now it's going to happen again? And then again? I mean, how stupid are we? No one answered that. I know the answer to that question. Like, well, we created dinosaurs and they almost ate us all, so we thought we'd do it again, but we're going to do it safe this time. No, you're not. It's never going to happen. The rules are still the same. But as always, I'll be seeing the Jurassic Park movie, Jurassic World, Jurassic Land, Jurassic Universe. I don't even know what it's called, but I'm going because, hey, dinosaurs. Boy, Jurassic Park, the first one. Seeing the first Jurassic Park in the theater, and up until that point in time, I'd only seen stop action animation, like the Tauntaun scene from Empire Strikes Back. And it looked kind of wonky, and you kind of realize what's going on, and you see the making of Star Wars, and you know what it looks like. Remember the first time the T-Rex stepped out? I was like, why do they do that? How do they do that? I was in awe of the screen. It takes a lot, you know, for someone in today's day and age to be wowed and say, I don't know how they did that. Like the ending scene in Endgame, I'm not wowed by that. It's amazing to look at, but I know how they did it. We all do. We all know what green screen is. We all know about CGI. We all know about what we can do as filmmakers. But at Jurassic Park, I had no idea how they pulled that off at the time. I had no idea what's going on. Fantastic. I love that. I love that. Don't you unsubscribe on me, Jones? I'm totally going to see it. Air Force One, and since both films take place on a jumbo jet, he closed the ladder. Is that true? Air Force One's a good movie, yeah. Air Force One is a good Harrison Ford, mainly because it shows Harrison Ford as our president, which I think most nerds like me agree with. Harrison Ford for president? Absolutely. Love that. My niece and nephew love dinosaurs, so as a cool uncle, yes. Jonathan, yes. I remember loving dinosaurs as a kid too, and this is way back when Land of the Lost was a television show, which, why do kids love dinosaurs? I don't know, but they do. Dinosaurs and trains. Why trains? Why dinosaurs? I don't know, but that's what they love. You want to make a kid happy? Dinosaurs and trains? Done. That's a good dino. Yeah. You got to see how the I love that you're the cool uncle. I was the cool uncle. That's not true. I'm the funny uncle. I have 8 nieces and nephews, and I'm the funny uncle. I don't know if I'm cool, but I was always the funny uncle. Yes, do your job as the cool uncle and take the kids to the things most likely that the parents won't let them go see. Yeah, that's the best. That is the best, Jonathan. 100% on that. Jurassic Park movies, Jurassic World. Jonathan says, now where's the heist movie stealing a dinosaur off a train? Okay, let's write that, shall we? Okay, the dinosaurs from Jurassic Park, someone steals the embryos a la Dennis Nedry cut type thing and winds up stealing an embryo, and then the embryo is on a train being shipped from places, and the train has to break down somewhere in the Alps where it's stuck on the train. And then they have to go in and rescue that before, and then the dinosaurs, of course, give birth on the train, and then as the thaw happens, the train takes off again. Now there's dinosaurs on a train, and then we'll get Samuel L. Jackson to come and take care of these MFing dinosaurs on this MFing train. Done. Written. Written for everyone. Martin Sheen, West Wing. Oh, Jace. Oh, Jonathan's Jurassic World. Derailed. It's a perfect title. That's a perfect title. I'll go see that. Jurassic Park, Derailed. What happens when you take a train and combine it with the world's most fearsome predator? Na 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 na. Oh, so good. Jace, your favorite president is Martin Sheen from The West Wing? Me too. I think Martin Sheen is great, and I used to love The West Wing. I still love The West Wing. I will still watch it. 7 seasons of The West Wing. I can always throw that on and watch it. It's Aaron Sorkin for the first 2 seasons as the head writer, whose dialogue is witty and perfect, and everyone has the perfect response to everyone else's thing. It's unrealistic speech, but it's poetic speech. Of everyone says exactly what they're supposed to say, and it's got such a flow and a rhythm to it. I love Aaron Sorkin. He's also the writer of American President, A Few Good Men. These are all, quick-witted Aaron Sorkin dialogue. Oh, Martin Sheen. Martin Sheen, who was also the villain in Spawn. I don't know what made me think of that. I was trying to think, does Martin Sheen have a bad movie? Oh, wait. He's the villain in Spawn. Al Simmons makes a pact with the devil after he dies and has to come back as the spawn of Satan in the cartoon Spawn. Cartoon comic book Spawn, written by Todd McFarlane for Image Comics. That was a fun movie. I hope they do Spawn again. I would love to see more Spawn. That's a good character. That's a good guy. I love any character with a pact. Like Ghost Rider, which really I hope they redo somehow. I really hope they redo Ghost Rider. I don't need to see Nick Cage as Ghost Rider anymore. He's just getting a little too old. That's fine. Who's the next Ghost Rider? Who's the next Johnny Blaze? Who suits up and becomes the spirit of vengeance? Who? Who will cast the stare? The penance stare. Oh, repeat, Zeraxis. You believe they offered Ford executive decision, which has Steven Seagal. Remember? Wait, Steven Seagal, Kurt Russell, John Leguizamo, and such. Oh wait, did that happen that I did this? That's hysterical. I don't need that. Why did that happen? Was offered executive decision as his third Ryan film and also Air Force One. And since they both sufficiently similar, he chose the latter. And I think that was a wise choice, again. Air Force One over executive decision, because I can't remember executive decision. It's the hijacking of a plane. They're both hijacking of planes-ish things, terrorism, whatnot. Yeah. So that got him out of the Jack Ryan thing, because Jack Ryan's not in executive decision. But it's all contract disputes and whatnot. Jace, I don't know if I'm a wealth of information. I know a lot of weird, stupid crap. Well, I don't know if it's stupid, but I love that. Austin Butler could be Johnny Blaze. That's a good pick, Bratchild. Dr. BRZ on my live stream. What do you know? What do you know? So Halloween's coming out. Does anybody have a favorite Dracula movie? What's your favorite Dracula movie? Just asking. I got one. I've got several Dracula movies, but I've got a soft spot for the 1979 Frank Langella Dracula. I do. That's a good one. What do you mean I did not? I did. I do things. I talk, no one can stop me. It was 78. Kurt Russell then played the Jack Ryan-like character on Executive Decision, but of course, since there wasn't Ford on it, they retooled it as a non-Jack Ryan flick. Didn't know that, Sabraxis. I didn't know that. I'm going to add that to my wealth of knowledge, Jace. I'm going to add that to my brain of weirdness. 1979, Dr. BRZ. I wasn't sure. Dr. Briz. I just want to call you Dr. Briz. Yeah, seriously. Vampire movies are coming out, or should be coming out, even though Nosferatu's not coming out till Christmas. Yeah, the Frank Langella Dracula. Love the Lost Boys. As a member of Gen X born in 1969, I'm contractually obligated to love the Lost Boys. It is an 80s movie. It's just under an hour and a half. I watched it during the pandemic again. It's the plot is almost nothing. Almost nothing. None of it makes real sense. It looks like a big music video. Good stuff though. Oh, that's your theory. Well, Subraxis, it's not a bad theory. I don't know about any of the stuff that all kind of makes sense, right? If they're both plane movies and they got offered them both, he's like, well, they're both plane movies. By the way, speaking of contractually obligated, Kurt Russell's an executive decision, and I have to love everything with Kurt Russell. Kurt Russell and Goldie Hawn, the king and queen of Generation X. Yeah. But back to vampires. What's your favorite vampire movie moment? Vampire movie moment. Like, I love, well, I have my top 10 vampire list, which is on my channel, and I can give away it right now that I can say that Underworld is my favorite vampire movie. And there's not a whole lot of people getting bit. It's a lot of gun shooting and whatnot between vampires and werewolves, but I love that. Yes, the two Coreys are in the Lost Boys, which is it's the best two Coreys movie. It's the best. Well, maybe it's not the best Coreys movie because of Stand By Me and Lucas, but yeah, the two Coreys being together, the Lost Boys, fantastic. Jace, agree with you on that. The Anne Rice books, I've read all the Anne Rice vampire books, and they are wonderful, romantic style novels, which have yet to be made into a good movie yet. The miniseries wasn't bad. It has bits and pieces that I liked, but it still wasn't, for me, it wasn't on just quite yet. Berzilla! Big Drek and Kaiju fan. Thanks, Tom. Thank you, Berzilla. Big Kaiju fan. Me too. I love all the Godzilla. I love Godzilla -1. I love the Japanese style Godzilla, and I love the cheesy American Godzilla. I do. I say cheesy because it kind of is. You know, we're Americans. We go big over the top, and Godzilla's a good guy, and pretty soon he'll be talking to people and whatnot. I don't care. Godzilla everything, especially because in the 1970s cartoon. Used to love that. Emotional vampire sounds like your ex. Ba-da-bum-ba-da-bum-bum. Lucky 13, another guest from TikTok. What are you doing? Blade was great. You're damn right. Blade was great. The Daywalker, my friends. The Daywalker. Oh yes, I love that in Deadpool Wolverine when Blade walks out because the first Blade is great. That first scene where they're in the underground blood orgy. Oh, it's so good. The blood disco, I should say. Oh, I love Blade. Such a great movie. Watch the Preacher series. I've not seen the Preacher series. I saw the first, I think, 3 or 4 episodes. This is a while back. That's a deep cut. That's 10 or 15 years ago, the Preacher series. Can't recall like that. Dean Koontz iteration of Frankenstein is so good. Doc, I've not seen that. Not seen a lot of Frankenstein movies. There aren't a lot of good. Kenneth Branagh did the adaptation of Frankenstein where Robert De Niro plays the monster, with Helena Bonham Carter is in that as well. That's not a great adaptation, but it's the closest one I've seen on film. And the other one that's crazy is the Andy Warhol's. Is the Andy Warhol's one? Frankenstein? Can't remember. It's crazy though. HB cartoon was a lot of fun. The Godzilla 98 following up cartoon was better than the movie. Yes, it was. The 98 Godzilla with Matthew Broderick. I remember when that came out. I had just moved to California. I just moved to LA, and they had those big billboards on the side. It was just big neon green. It would take up a giant billboard, and it just said, "This is the size of one of his teeth." La la la. Godzilla. The problem with that Godzilla is it turns into Jurassic Park at the end. With the baby Godzillas, don't need that. There's one Godzilla. There's one king of the monsters, and it doesn't give birth and have a bunch of others. Me. That's just me talking. And yet, because I'm a Godzilla fan, I still love that one. I still... You know? It is what it is. Oh, my Monarch review. Jones. I wanted to like the Monarch show so much more. But the whole idea... Okay, you watched it. They go down to the Middle Earth which is not Middle Earth. I was calling that the end. I did that throughout my review. It's not Middle Earth. It's not Lord of the Rings. When they go to the center of the Earth, time changes, and you don't age as fast. And then when you come out, everything is switched. But in the Godzilla, the New Empire, they go down there and back and forth a bunch, and time doesn't change. What happened with that? They were going with that as an idea in the Monarch show, and then they didn't continue it in the movie, and I don't know if they explained that. I missed that. Did I go to the bathroom on that one? Did I miss that? The actors from that show just won an Emmy for Shogun. Still need to watch Shogun. I've not watched Shogun. I saw the original Shogun with Richard Chamberlain back in the 70s. That was the first big miniseries that I can remember. Shogun. An epic 3-4 day event, but I'm watching that. I love the whole story of Shogun. That's James Clavell did the book. They announced season 2 of Monarch. Is that for real? I'm watching it. Let's not mince words. I did not like the first one, and I'm gonna watch it. I'm gonna watch it. I'm gonna review it. I'm dying for more kaiju, more monsters, more because Kong shows up in the last episode of the first one. Spoiler alert! Sorry, everybody. But honestly, I think Jones and I are the only ones that watched the Monarch series. Did any of your friends watch it? None of my friends were seeing it. None of my friends watched that series except me. Jay says the French Connection needs a prequel. Dude, the French Connection, 1971, 71, 72, Gene Hackman, Roy Scheider. The French Connection and Papa Doyle, based on a true story. That one's a thick watch. That one's hard to watch. A lot of dialogue. Sometimes you don't know what's going on, and if you don't know the story, but thankfully because of Wikipedia, you can find out the story, and it makes a whole lot more sense when you kind of know what's happening. Because otherwise, the movie's like, well, what's happening? What is going on? But it has one of the greatest chase scenes ever in cinema history, if you've never seen it. He chases someone who's on an elevated train, on a subway. And he's got to follow the subway as it's going, which is impossible because subways are fast and don't have to stop for traffic. It's a great one. Monarch Mirror appears to be overly convoluted and drawn out. The Gamera Rebirth anime from last year was fantastic. Yeah, Bearzilla. I've not seen the Gamera Rebirth anime. Where's that? Is that on Prime? I will watch that. I remember Gamera as a kid. He's a big turtle. He's a big turtle with jets where he pulls in his arms and legs and the jets come out and flies around. Get some. Get some, big turtle. Love that. Hackman is underrated. Jace, you're darn right. Gene Hackman is a genius. He is retired from acting and he'll go soon. Knock wood. I think he's in his 90s now. He'll follow the way of James Earl Jones. And I love Gene Hackman. My favorite Gene Hackman movie, I think, is Mississippi Burning. Is one of my favorite Gene Hackman movies. He is just so brilliant in that. Kong shows up. Biggest problem with Godzilla 98. Godzilla behaved like an animal, not like a monster. I mean, he was running away from the army and the fire jabbing Godzilla do that. Sabraxis, that is a great comment. That is a great comment. Godzilla 98 acted more like an animal and not like a monster. Yeah, don't humanize my Godzilla. He's Godzilla. He's the king of the monsters. He's not an animal. Good call. That's really good. Bearzilla, it's on Netflix. Okay, so the Gamera Rebirth. Done. Check that off my list. It's in the UK. The newest Gamera anime is on Netflix. Okay, I got 2 votes. I got 2 votes on that. Well, my friends, we've hit an hour that I've been online, and I hate to jump off now, but the lady and I and the kids are going to San Diego tonight for something to do tomorrow, and it's going to be fantastic. But I'm going to jump back on here in another week or 2 because I love getting together with people, and I love talking about movies and nerd things and games and things that get us out of this horrible time period that we all seem to be in. So let's jump into our fantasy, let's jump into our imagination and think about a better future. All right? Thanks for coming with me on this live. I really appreciate you, okay? I'm going to see you next time we come out, and I'll end it like I end all my shows, as always. Peace, love, live long and prosper. And I mean it. Thanks for coming on, everybody. Good night.